Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Wednesday, June 14th, 2017, the U.S. flag's birthday as well as Donald Trump's. It's a Wednesday, so as always, I'll be on Truth Frequency Radio, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, 9 p.m. to midnight if you're on the East Coast. In the description, the link to listen live. And I'll leave the link to listen if you missed the show. You can listen to it for free up to 10 days after. It's free to listen to, free to call in, free to listen to up to 10 days after. I'll put the links to listen live and for the archived episode. If you want to call in, the number's 213-233-3998. There's no screening of calls. If you're on the line and you wait in line, when I get to you, you get to be on. And I make sure I get to all the calls unless a bunch of people phone in at the end of the show, which happens sometimes, and then I can only answer so many before the time runs out. But 3 hours every Wednesday, and tonight's show is going to be really good. There's some very important stuff we got to talk about. Hold on, I got to check my phone real quick. Somebody I'm waiting for, they said they're going to be by in just a second. So anyway, tonight, Wednesday, very important show. As always, I'd love for my critics to call in. You know, all day in the comments I get pounded with negativity and criticism and, mockery. And I invite people to call in every week and debate with me. And nobody ever wants to call in and debate, really. Like this guy right here, Cedar Rapids. If you're out there watching, and I know you are because you leave a comment to every video, why don't you call in tonight and voice this opinion and we'll have a discussion about it. He writes, Jesus, Zach, you're right about shit being rigged. I just want to pause right there. On Truth Frequency Radio, you cannot cuss because it's syndicated in Denver. And you can't cuss on the public airwaves. So when you call in, the one rule is you cannot cuss. You're right about shit being rigged, but not every single detail of every single fucking game is related to gematria. So you can't call in and say it that way. Say it a little bit nicer. Speak like the Mormons do. Effing and freak, Frickin'. Oh, anyway, then he writes, sometimes a couple keys, things are scripted to match the numbers, but practically every fucking detail, you are beyond a smart man to keep subs and make money I think he meant off this shit, LOL. Well, I don't make any money off this. There's never been any ads. I've worked here for free, very hard for pretty much 4 years straight, pumping out knowledge because I know people need to know it. So anyway, this guy wants to call in tonight and voice this opinion. I'll explain why he is incorrect. For the perfect transition, again, tonight, critics, please call in. Let's have a debate about this subject. Look at this advertisement that just came out by Nike for Kevin Durant right after he won his first NBA Finals, June 12th. The next day, Nike rolled out this advertisement. Debate this. Before we get to the gematria, please look this up. Kevin Durant scored 39 points in Game 5. Very symbolic number I've been teaching about since 2013 when I began. One of the most important numbers in this study, along with its reflection, 93. We're going to talk about how debate this equals 39 and 93. But anyhow, Kevin Durant, 39 points, and then the next day, Nike comes out with this advertisement. Nike has the gematria of 39. They use this number all the time in their marketing campaigns and other related numbers. Debate this 39 and Durant 39. And if you're paying attention, you'll notice there's 3 different gematria methods. These are all based on the alphabetic order, and they're all the foundation of this study. Ordinal, the top one, is A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. Full reduction, same thing, except for when you get to the double-digit letters, which start with J. J is 10. J is not worth 10 in this method, though. It's worth 1 because 1 plus 0 is 1. K is the 11th letter. It's not worth 11 in this method. It's worth 1 plus 1 equals 2. L is the 12th letter. 1 plus 2 is 3. M is the 13th letter. 1 plus 3 is 4. You see, you make each letter a single digit, then you add the word. And reverse is running the alphabetic order. Z is 1, up to A is 26, and reducing each letter. And if you do it in reduction, if you do the alphabetic order not reduced, Z is 1 up to A is 26, also very relevant. If you type in, I'll link the gematria calculator below. If you type in Tom Brady, you'll see it's the same as Patriots, forwards and backwards. You'll see if you write out New England Patriots, it's the same as Tom Brady and Patriots with the full reduction. If you type in the word baseball and then Major League Baseball, and if you know how many outs are in a game and games are in a season, your mind will be blown. If you type in Grand Slam and notice that the Grand Slam record was set this year on the 154th day of the year, and the first no-hitter, also related, thrown on that date, you'll see. This is the code, and there's no debate about it. That's why all day in my comments, where people can just talk trash with no support behind it, you know, those people will run their mouth all day there. But to call in and debate me for free, they wouldn't dare. Too embarrassing. You know, you're not going to see that kid with the Mr. Yuck t-shirt on running his mouth lying about me with nothing but slander and false information. You're not going to see him calling the show, but you'll see him continue to make videos, just like all these other people that do it. Look at all these people that slander me but will never call in, because my work is 100% on point, and you got to be brain dead to not know it. Watch the movie Idiocracy that came out in 2006. That movie, it's set in the year 2500, but it's really about modern times. An intelligent person in this society will realize they are surrounded by morons who, you know, are very hateful towards intelligence. And it is so true. I know that as an intelligent person who's grown up in this society. One more point about Kevin Durant's debate this, and then we're going to jump into this San Francisco shooting thing. Debate this, 93, the reflection of 39, like Saturn, like Oracle Arena. I showed how in Game 5, Durant took the score from 90, Golden State Warriors 90, to 93 on a 3, and they stopped it right at 314. And all year talking about this number, 314, 3.14, Steph Curry's March 14th birthday, and pi and time. Remember, Saturn represents 93, the keeper of time. This is all ritual within a numerical code that has relevance to the real mathematics of this world. They tell us the sun, the true keeper of time, is 93 million miles away. The word light bulb equals 93. That should make something go off in your mind, you know? So anyhow, also, Nike headquartered in Oregon, the only state with a 93 establishment date. Nike's symbol, the swoosh, is a ring of Saturn. Nike 39, 93 establishment in Oregon, the 33rd state. Always big. And as I always say, the media. That's what you need to understand. This code, it is part of Jewish mysticism. And Jewish Zionists control the media worldwide. This is an important language. Kabbalah, the Jewish mysticism that said God created the world with language when God merged the letter with the number. They practice this. The people who edit and run media are very aware of this, and this is how they formulate their headlines and their stories and their slogans. All things I've been educating about and proving day after day since 2013. Now look at this story. This story, a hoax put on by the police and media and government in ritual with the sports game. And the reason why is because it's all controlled by the same secret society. It's Freemasonry in high places. This is a Masonic code. Freemasonry based in Jewish history, based in Kabbalah. See the movie Filth. Got an important video and blog post on it. But anyway, look at what CNN does front and center. They put a police car with 146. What's today? June 14th, 14/6, Flag Day, United Kingdom 146. They burned the building in London for the ritual. This is all symbolism. And it's, you know, it's negative symbolism. A burning tower. Burning tower, what does that symbolize? You know, to them it probably has all sorts of meaning. But what happened in London is a ritual, just like this hoax shooting in San Francisco today is a ritual, just like the hoax shooting in Washington, D.C. at the GOP baseball game. Is that even a real thing? It's just political mockery, you know, America's pastime, and all coming on Flag Day. Today's Flag Day, Donald Trump's 71st birthday. The Golden State, the Golden Fluff. But look at this, 14/6, it's not a coincidence. Today's June 14th, the 165th day of the year. The Bay Area just won the NBA Finals. Check this out. NBA Finals in Gematria, 165, Cleveland, big part of the ritual, who just went down to the Warriors. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, Scottish Rite 165. Scottish Rite's also 57, like NBA Finals, like today's date numerology. Huge number, always in championships. Sidney Crosby just won in the NHL 57 days from his birthday. See my videos on the NBA Finals, all the relevant 57 coding. But they said that UPS is the center of this story. 3 killed, then the gunman. We just had 3 straight finals, the trilogy, Warriors and Cavs. Look at this. UPS 25. 25 is a number connected to pi. We talked everything about the pi rituals all year, several videos. Search Zachary K. Hubbard, pi, Warriors, P-I, not P-I-E, P-I like math. Search that topic, several videos on this. Talking about pi all year with the Warriors. But UPS 25, the magic number, we just saw the Warriors win the 25th championship. Look at this, Finals 25, Trump 25. We just saw the Patriots win the 25th Super Bowl for the AFC. I said why 25 was the number on 2/5 way before the game was played. Tom Brady's 25th playoff win, the AFC's 25th Super Bowl on 2/5 with a 25-point comeback. Warriors had the record 25-point comeback in the Spurs, against the Spurs. Spurs equals 93, by the way. Saturn symbolism, black and white like the Spurs unis. Anyway, Finals 25, Trump 25, Donald Trump connected to all these rituals, Golden State, Golden Fluff, the Comb-Over versus James Comey. It's all scripted theater run by the Zionist Jews who control the money, which means they control the puppet show that this world is. Everybody living for money. In God we trust. In God we trust equals the same thing as Annuit Coeptus, the same thing as Freemasonry, the same thing as secret society. But just look at all this. Kevin Durant, 25. You know, Kevin Durant brings home the 25th championship for the West, again, on the anniversary of Michael Jordan winning his first championship 4-1. Kerr played for the Cavs 25 years earlier. Steve Kerr wore the number 25 with the Bulls. Blazers wore 5 with the Cavs. This was the 5th championship for the Warriors. They were once the Philadelphia Warriors. They've been around since the beginning. They won the first ever championship. They won in 1947. This was the 47th championship of the modern era. But think about it. 25, the square root of that number is 5. 5th championship, 25th for the West. Comes right after the Patriots scripted Super Bowl and the 25-point comeback. Follow this number this year in sports. And again, sports and news, it's all one and the same. Last week, the news story about 25-year-old reality winner. They know that the masses are asleep. They can't see through these obviously rigged games. They can't see through this bullshit news. Now it's 2017 and they're giving you stories about people named reality winner. All for the sake of agenda. Big Brother's agenda. So there it is, your San Francisco shooting hoax. Right off the Bay Shore Freeway. Bay Shore, type it in, alphabetic order, 93, like Oracle Arena, like propaganda. Whoops, typo there, but it's still right. San Francisco, by the way, for all you people out there, never forget this. Your cities, they're named according to the coordinates all across this nation. San Francisco, 122. Golden State, 122. San Francisco, Oakland on the 122nd meridian. It's masonry. It's ritual. And, hey, just on the pi point, you know, we were just talking about pi and Kevin Durant and debate this and his 93rd points with 3:14 left. Steph Curry born on March 14th. Kendrick Lamar's theme music used for the finals. Kendrick Lamar with lyrics about Durant. 3:14 on the clock, 93rd points. How about the song that came out 48 days? Or excuse me, that's not true. The album did, but I guess this song came out before. But anyway, 3:14 in his lyrics. These are the lyrics from Kendrick Lamar from this song, The Heart Part 4. You know? Rapping about pi. Music related to the finals. All show put together by numerical ritual. In case you don't get it, a lot of people I see online are trying to figure out the truth of David West tattoo. You know, I apologize, you guys. This is something I meant to talk about earlier in the playoffs. This is one of those things that I wrote about on my blog and I let completely slip away. And here we are talking about after the finals, but David West tattoo. David West joined the Warriors this year for the first time. He played 13 seasons prior to this year with other teams. He was drafted the same year as LeBron. He signed for his 14th season with the Warriors on July 6th, 6/7, the word West 67. The Warriors won the West with 67 games. But his tattoo, I want to know when he got this tattoo. If somebody can help me find out when this man got this tattoo, we can figure out something huge here. I want to know when this tattoo was put on his body. This tattoo is the golden ratio, phi, which is related to the Fibonacci sequence. And real quick, I'll teach you about this. You know, I always put out the knowledge. You got to know this knowledge. The Fibonacci sequence is so important. The Fibonacci sequence goes like this. Listen, it goes 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Do you see what sequence I'm doing? The last two numbers I said were 5 and 8. 5 plus 8 is 13. That's the number that comes after 8. Then you add 8 plus 13. The next number is 21. Then you add 13 plus 21, 34. Then you add 21 plus 34, 55. Then 34 plus 55, 89. Remember, King James equals 55 and 89. Game 5 was on a date with 55 numerology. Special numbers. King James, LeBron James, who's the king? King James, the Rosicrucian, the Freemason by the numbers, who died at age 58, the Freemasonry and Rosicrucian number. Their movement is responsible for this nation that we live in, modern English, and I think a big part of what's going on in this world by the numbers. That's why they're so relevant, but interesting that his name is Fibonacci numbers. 55, 89, 55 is the 10th Fibonacci number. That's so interesting because if you add 1 through 10 together, it also sums to 55. 89 is the 11th Fibonacci number, the master number 11. 55 plus 89 is 144. The Golden State Warriors won the finals 144 days after Golden Fluff Donald Trump became the president of America. George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st president, turned 93 the day the Warriors won the finals 4-1. Golden State 41, King 41. If you write out 14 as a word, it sums to 41. David West 14th season. But anyway, the golden ratio, the way it works is this. You divide the numbers from the Fibonacci sequence. 144 divided by 89, 1.61. The numbers before that were 89 and 55. We're going to divide 89 by 55. You just keep dividing the number in the sequence. As you progress, though, right there we regressed, we went backwards. As you progress, it goes 55, 89, 144. Then it's 89 plus 144 is 233. When we divide 233 by 144, we get even closer to the golden ratio. Every single time you do the Fibonacci sequence and you divide, you get closer and closer to the exact number. The golden ratio is the next important number in mathematics or to mathematicians as pi. So we're talking about how pi is relevant to these finals. Well, it turned out the golden ratio was also important. It's tattooed on David West's arm. And what did the Warriors do in the finals, in the playoffs? They went 16-1. The golden ratio was 1.61, and then decimal points that come after. And here it is tattooed on his arm. If you're going, well, how do I know that's the golden ratio? I mean, you can study the golden ratio. This is what it is. The Fibonacci sequence. See, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and it keeps going. 55, 89. Read about it. It's all mathematics. Last year, the second time the Warriors and Cavs met in the finals, Game 7, both teams came in with 610 points. And that was on a date with 61 numerology. Finals equals 61, like Ohio, like time. Here's the golden ratio right here. See this number? Warriors, 16-1. So again, you want to call in tonight and debate and talk about how all this is coincidence, and you know it's just a coincidence that David West, who signed this year perfectly, has the golden ratio on his arm. And in light of what I've been telling you for years, that these men are branded. They didn't even put these tattoos on their body. You know, that's something else the powers that shouldn't be want the world doing. They want them covering their body with tattoos. And again, you guys, I'm not a Christian. You know, I'm open-minded. I'm all about information and knowledge and seeking truth. But in the Bible, you're not supposed to put tattoos on your body. And a lot of the mockery that they do comes from the Bible. You know, they've made tattoos really cool and culturally popular. It's supposed to be a Christian nation once upon a time, and, you know, tattoos are, you know, marking the body. You're not supposed to do that. So, anyway, what I'm telling you is with these athletes and how they've made the world want to tattoo themselves because they know people follow celebrity. And you guys, I'm not criticizing tattoos. You know, I appreciate the artwork. I think a lot of people have gone overboard at this day and age. I see people all over them with their neck and their face, and it's like, really, man? Are you sure you're going to want that if you're 80 years old? Or even 50? Or even 35? You know? But anyway. To each their own. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just trying to let you know. A lot of these athletes, they're not tattooing themselves because they chose it. It's being branded on them as if they're an animal on a farm. Chosen one on LeBron's back. Chosen one equals the same thing as National Basketball Association. Very relevant number to the face of a lot of sports leagues. Again, watch my work on the finals. Talked about it all. The golden ratio, though, for the record, it has this interesting gematria. 57 like NBA finals, even like the word golden. Phi is also the same as NBA Finals. David West, born August 27, 1980, 36 years old. Will turn 37 later this year. Chosen one equals 37. Cavaliers 36. Golden State, Oakland on the 37th parallel. David West, though, when he signed with the Warriors, he was still 35 years old. He was 35 then. He signed July, a little more than a month before his birthday. That was the week after or just days after, actually. Kevin Durant joined July 4th. David West came July 6th, 2 days later. David West, 35, like Kevin Durant, number 35. The Warriors beat the Cavs by 35 points on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, earning their 35th win of the season. King James equals 35, became Freemason at 35. Died 23 years later. King equals 23, like LeBron's number. But David West, a lot of interesting things in his birth name if you look at his birth numerology. His birth numerology connects well with his name as well. If you followed my work on the finals, we talked a whole lot about 117 for the Warriors and the Cavs. But anyway, David West, he signed... hold on real quick. He signed with the Warriors on July 6th. July 6th, 6/7, West 67. Warriors won the West with 67. The word king also equals 67. But this was also a date with 49 numerology. 49 numerology, 7 plus 6 is 13, plus 16 is 29. Huge number that defined the season as well, connected to pi. Plus 20 more is 49. Warriors 49. In Game 5, the Cavs also went down with 120 points, which also connects to the gematria of golden ratio. But check this out. Is it possible that to conclude the 71st season of the NBA, which this was, and also the Warriors have been in Golden State since 71, Golden State, golden ratio, the word tattoo has gematria 71. You know? So, sometimes things can be coincidence, but it's like, wow, you know, this guy who signed perfectly with the team this year, who has the golden ratio on his arm, tattoo also equals 71. And I don't know if there's ever been a year in sports where I've noticed that a tattoo might have predicted the whole season. Actually, shout out to Brother Berg. I remember 2 years ago, that guy who won the Masters, whose name I already forget, Brother Berg caught his tattoo and how it synced up so perfectly with him winning. And I thought, you know, maybe his body was marked for his scripted win. And for all of you who just want to go, how can you rig a golf game? Just please don't even comment. I mean, learn to use your brain. If you have a field of people that all paid off and only so many are good enough to be the winner, it's not that hard to understand. These guys are all collaborating. Why would they do that? I mean, why do you guys ask these questions? These people are celebrities. They're well paid. They're endorsements. Their endorsements are more than you make per life each month. What do you mean, why would they do this? What don't you guys understand about this world you live in? I don't understand these questions you have. Watch that movie, Idiocracy. Oh my God. These questions people have. So anyway, this video got too long, but tonight's show we'll talk about more. Big death in the Oracle Company. The championship won in Oracle Arena. This man dead at 57, the championship number, on the perfect date with the exact same numbers how I showed lined up for Game 5 before it was played for the Warriors to close out. Died on the 147th day of the year, the Freemasonry number. Talk about that. There's this article about Oprah and Trump from 1988. About how Trump joked in 88 on her show that he was going to run for president. Trump equals 88, the Republican Party 88. Oprah Winfrey and Oprah 58. Donald Trump won the 58th presidential election. Hired the 58-year-old Steve Ray for Inauguration Day. Announced that he was running from his 58-story Trump Tower. I covered that news about the man climbing that same tower 113 days before its 11/3 anniversary. At least I think it was 113 days before the 11/3 anniversary. But go back and watch. You know, all things we've been talking about for a long time. See what's going on in this world, Truth Seeker? If you missed my video on the London Blaze, this building really was constructed in 74. London equals 74. They just had the two false flags 74 days apart. Again, this came on Flag Day, United Kingdom, 146, June 14th. It's all ritual. It's all ritual. Scottish Rite Freemasonry. It's got their lodge 1717 in England. June 14th, 2017, date with 57 numerology. Happened in Lancaster, 93, that number for Saturn, the keeper of time. And, you know, something I missed huge in this morning's video, if you saw the one I put out on this. This is old-fashioned political mockery. Politics has gematria of 113. Politics 113. Supposedly a Democratic progressive shooter shot the Republican baseball team. I mean, does this even exist? Somebody asked me to look into if the man who's the shooter is the same person that was shown at San Bernardino December 2015 with the Freemason baseball cap on. I haven't looked into it, but those faces do look similar. That might be worth a look. Some more mockery. But again, I said this morning that this story is all connected to the 113th World Series coming up. Politics 113, like mainstream, dishonest, fiction, bullshit. Again, to not get this work, your head has to be full of bullshit. And, you know, not much else. Bava Kama 113A. It's okay for somebody who's Jewish to lie to somebody who isn't. If you want to get mad at the person who's revealing all this to you, you know, that means that you're a little goy slave like they think you are, and the point of your existence is to get fucked in your ass, which is exactly what they think of you. So if you're mad at the messenger who's giving you the knowledge to overcome, you know, you're just part of their plan. You're just their little, you're their little goy slave. There's no other way to say it. I don't know how people can't figure out what's going on in this nation. Sports game where year after year the announcer screams out that they couldn't have scripted it any better. You know, towers demolished and they told you a man in a cave did it where all the oil is. who just published a book. Did you guys know that Osama bin Laden had just published a book in 1999 or late 90s about how he wanted to double the price of a barrel of oil, and he wanted all the U.S. military bases out of Saudi Arabia, and those were the first two things that happened right after 9/11 with the Patriot Act. The price of oil doubled a barrel, and the U.S. removed all of its military bases from Saudi Arabia where the hijackers were from. See how that works? They tell you in your own media that all the hijackers are from Saudi Arabia, and then we remove all of our military bases there and go to war with some other countries. And nobody says anything. They just want more ball game. They want more beer. They want more big titties on the screen. They want more purses, shoes, clothes, jewelry. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. You know, tune out tonight and tune into my show. You might learn something. And for any critics, especially the man in the Mr. Yuck t-shirt, you know who I'm talking to. The guy who keeps lying and slandering and won't apologize for what he's really wrong about. We know what you're really wrong about. You're wrong for dissing gematria. Nobody cares about your sports predictions. You've never been good at those anyway. You said before the NBA season began, the finals would be the Clippers and the Knicks. Well, why are you talking to me, man? I said the Warriors would win and the finals would be the Warriors and Cavs all 3 years in a row. Each year, this kid called a different team from the start of the year that never showed up there. And now he wants to make a video because the Warriors won in Game 5 instead of Game 4. I mean, my critics, you know, if you're subscribed to these channels, I don't know why you're consuming bad information. Bad information, what you're listening, what you're putting before your eyes, that's what, you know, that's what impacts this up here. That's why in each video I give you real knowledge. And maybe I give you some things that I shouldn't too, some of my rants and personal feelings. But some people watch for that. But anyway, every video here, I've never made a video where I didn't give the listener something very valuable, something important. And this was just to be a promo for tonight's radio show. So, got to cut it off here, Truth Seeker. Got to write. Still not finished, but it's coming. Until next time.